Hey everybody, I'm Howard, and this is Otter's Retirement Corner. So today we're going to do something very frivolous and fun. As you can see by the title, I saw a UFO. And it didn't happen last night. It happened 50 years ago or so. I was a teenager, sitting out in the backyard, 2 in the morning, lounge chair straight back, looking straight up at the stars. And I saw a light that moved in strange patterns, and it was in a small area of the sky. It was just moving up and back. It went on for about 30 seconds or so, and it was a spaceship. I mean, in my mind, it was a spaceship. What else moves like that? And then it just disappeared. Okay, so UFO is an unidentified flying object, as we all know. The popular term now has switched to UAP, which is unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Either way, all it means is you saw something and you didn't know what it was. It doesn't, UFO doesn't mean spaceship. A UFO could be absolutely anything. It could be a drone. It could be swamp gas reflecting light off of Venus. It could be anything. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is a couple weeks ago there were hearings in Congress. With some ex-military, some ex-government people, and the discussion was about these UAPs and is the government hiding information from the public? That, we know what these things are, or we're not reporting all the sightings. Anyway, the theme of questioning from many of the people in the House, House of Representatives, and by the way, there's huge religious and political overtones here, and I'm going to try to avoid most of them the best I can. And my goal here is to hear your opinions. What is out there? Are they being are we seeing things and the government's hiding them, or do we know everything there is to know? Or aliens are here, aliens have visited. Whatever you think about this topic, I want to have this discussion because it's extremely interesting and fun for me, and hopefully for you. By the way, we're on the edge of 3,000 subscribers. If you'd like to help me out and subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Helps grow the channel. Anyway, let's get back. So there was this hearing, and a lot of the questioning to this group of people was around, what's really going on? Why is the government hiding this? What don't we know? And some of them hinted that, yes, the government's hiding things, that there have been sightings, and, we can't explain what they are, but there's no good explanation for them. And one of my basic tenets in life is if you don't understand something and you can't explain why it is or why it happened, don't ascribe one definition or another to it. Just because we don't know what it is doesn't mean it's an alien. We just don't know what it is. And it could be 1,000 different things. We don't know until we have evidence that it's one thing or another. We just say, we don't know. But the topic then goes on to, okay, why would the government hide that kind of information? There's several reasons. There could be security reasons. Maybe the U.S. government found something and they don't want the other countries to know because there's some great technology we can gain, advancements in military, something like that. Certainly there would be a fear factor if they were announced, okay, we've discovered this alien ship, we found this alien on it, they have hostile intention, they don't want to scare us all to death. So maybe there is a reason to hide it. So there's all sorts of theories on this. The most famous one is the Fermi paradox. I'm not going to go into it, but then there's all sorts of opinions on what that is and what it means. And if there's aliens out there, why haven't we seen them? What one theory is, what if we're the aliens? And you'll see this in movies. I can't remember the name of the movie offhand, but the premise of it is in the beginning, aliens were on Earth, and we sort of grew out of their DNA, and in essence, we're the aliens. Someone visited Earth before we existed, and we grew out of that alien presence. It's possible, and I'm not going to say anything's impossible, but, we're going to get into a little bit of the science here. So, let's put that one aside. Okay, so now now you have to consider, what if we're the most advanced species? What if we have, grown the most? What if we are the most intelligent, have the best technology, and we're nowhere near going to another planet? Is that possible? Certainly. Is it likely? Who knows? I'd like to say no, but who knows? The other thing is, what if we just can't detect aliens? What if their life forms are something that we don't hear, see, feel, smell? Our senses can't bring in. There could be aliens here. We just don't know they're here. So what good is it knowing? But that's a possibility. Life doesn't have to be humanoid, what you see here. And, we may not have the senses we need or the heightened senses we need to detect them. That's a possibility. All right. So do other planets have life? By various estimates, you could say, the universe is vast. Does it end? We don't know. Does it continue to go? We don't know. From what we do know, what we can see, what telescopes help us figure out, is that as far as we know, it doesn't end. We haven't found an end to the universe. And there are millions, if not billions, of galaxies. We're in the Milky Way galaxy with, thousands of stars and maybe millions of planets. How many other galaxies are there? How many other planets? There's guesses up to 1 trillion planets out there, if not more. And maybe 1 billion of them, a tiny percentage, are in those Goldilocks zones like where we are, that they're close enough to the sun that it heats them, but not too close where it burns them, and not too far where they freeze to death. We're in that perfect spot where life can grow and evolve and move on and, advance. So where are the aliens from those planets? So, what we have to look at, again, the numbers are huge. If they're there, now we have to consider the vastness of space. Here's the reason why we haven't gone anywhere. Space travel is extremely difficult. If you look at the laws of physics, number one, what we know about the universe is that it's expanding. And, at one time, back in the 1800s, maybe the 1700s, it's probably Copernicus or someone like that, or Newton or Huygens or somebody, they looked at the fact that everything around us in the galaxy was moving away from us. And it made us think, okay, well, we're the center of the galaxy, everything's moving away. As it turns out, as we know now, no matter where you are in the universe, everything is moving away from you. So from wherever you are, you feel like you're the center of the universe. And a quick analogy to help understand that is, pretend you have a balloon and you tape all these pennies to it, and then you blow up the balloon. From whichever penny you're looking at, all the other pennies are moving away from it. Any penny you go to, they're moving away. And the further things are away, the faster they move. So if those pennies were planets, anywhere in the universe, it looks like everything's moving away from you, because it is. And you're not the center. You can be way off here, and there's the whole big thing here, and everything's moving away. And the further away, the faster it goes. So everything is already very far away and moving further away every second. And then you have to overcome the difficulties of space travel. Simply building a ship that can travel from planet to planet is extremely difficult. Going outside your galaxy becomes even more difficult. Just to shield you from gamma rays, so the radiation doesn't kill you, you have to make it, so heavy that it's hard to take off from Earth. That's our difficulty. Who knows what the other planets are? And unless you want to consider things that aren't proven, like wormholes, traveling those distances right now is all but impossible. The cosmic space limit is the speed of light, or 186,000 miles per second. We know of nothing that can travel faster than that, or any way it can travel faster than that. because if you look at the general relativity, you pretty much just blow up after you hit the speed of light. The mass gets so heavy that it's just, look it up, space travel at that speed. So okay, maybe we haven't gone even the tiniest fraction of the speed of light. So to get something to go to speed of light, and then everything's moving away from you, and the distances are so far already, you would never catch up to those other planets. So someone coming try to visit us has that difficulty to overcome. And let's say they did. Let's say they discovered wormholes are real, okay? Or there's other modes of travel where you can move through space and time faster than the speed of light. What would they do? Would they just observe us? Possible, but if we make that trip, are we just going to observe? We're going to want to make contact, and I would think they would want to make contact. It's kind of silly to think they think like us, but it seems like an awful long way to go for nothing. Would they be hostile? Why? And again, everyone's opinion is sort of formed by movies, and typically in movies, aliens are hostile. One of my favorite movies is Contact, written by Carl Sagan, where they're not hostile, but everybody thinks they're going to be. That's the default, and you have to be careful, but, from our perspective, when we go to other planets, we want to observe, we want to make contact, we want to, look at other planets to live on or join with, or, it's just the human nature to want to know what's out there and why, why are we here, where can we go, what can we do, how do we, help the species live forever, because it's not going to on Earth. Earth will get destroyed by the sun blowing up, in a million years, whatever it is. So these are just fun thought experiments. Again, my opinion is there's probably life on other planets, probably not like us, probably not humanoid, but there's probably life, and that it's very unlikely, given the distances and the expanding universe, that they visited us. That's not fun. I'd rather they had, or figure out some way to do that. But most importantly, what do you think? Is the government covering up things? Have they visited us? Will they visit us? Is there life on other planets? Let's have some really fun discussions. Today's Wednesday, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great weekend next weekend. And then I'll try to talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.